Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Crypto Truth, where I give you the truth as I see it. All right, so we need to have a little chat. Holochain fans, Holochain fanboys, and those who believe in the Holo organization. I've over the weekend I noticed a lot of tweets about the Holo. You know what? I'm not gonna do this right now. I'm gonna take this hat off because I need to make sure my video. I still don't have my stand yet, so my videos. I want you guys to be able to see me. Okay, so um, over the weekend, I was noticing a lot of different tweets about Holochain. Some people call it FUD. Some people call it honesty. I kind of want to give you guys my opinion on what's been happening with Holochain and Holo, the organization, and my opinions as a whole. Now, I've said a lot of these things in the past, but I'm going to try to give you guys a condensed version of exactly, and yeah, me condensed, right? Of exactly what I believe and what I think needs to happen. So the reason why I didn't make a video on this over the weekend, I had my kids over the weekend, and obviously my kids take priority over everything else. But so I had my kids over the weekend, and the the conversations, more or less, over the years, have been the exact same conversations. As you guys know, many of you know, a couple of people, especially on Twitter, was like, "Hey, come to Holo Mondays and different things like that." This is back when Holo, Holo Mondays had first started, and I'm like, "Wow, that sounds cool." And at the time, it just every single Monday got real busy for me. But then I started seeing some things develop within the like this Holo Monday, the Holo community, is that we have a group of people, even within the Holo community, and they all believe in different things, which is wonderful. This is a free world, regardless of whether people want to believe that or not. We have we have to make choices and decisions on our own, but that also means that we can say how we really truly feel about an organization, about a company, or about how the company or organization is conducting themselves or is moving forward. Now, there are some people um, who are critiquing, myself included. Uh, no, not myself included. Critiquing the organization, the Holo organization, but they are not invested in them. So, meaning that they're either they invested, they got their feelings hurt because they were paying attention to the markets, and then they jumped out of market. I'm not in Holo ever again, but they still follow Holo Chain. They still follow Holochain in its progress, and then they have all these negative things to say, and all you trash, and all this kind of stuff. So we have different categories of people, right? Um, I fall into the category of I just want to be, I just want to do and say what I feel about an organization or a company. Now, I know that these videos that I've been making are really not professional videos, right? I just show up, I turn on my camera, and then I just start talking. However, as I stated before, that is not to assume that these are people in general don't have any kind of business knowledge or business sense. Now, a lot of you guys don't understand that the whole organization is an organization. I don't care whether you want to call it a nonprofit. I don't care whether you want to call it for profit. I don't care you want to call it a limited liability company. However you want to classify it, which is for profit, but anyway, however you want to classify them, they are an organization. And some people have more experience in exactly how an organization should be run to be more efficient. And in my opinion, and this is my opinion, but I am very much experienced when don't let the um, the sporadic videos for anyone. I'm very knowledgeable about how companies and organizations, and have done research on previous companies and organizations, and how they develop and how they organize themselves. Now, we have people in different camps, right? So some people are saying that, the Holo organization, they're just concentrating, they don't care about price, they're just concentrating on the technology. They want the technology to run right. And so we can have this awesome technology and move forward in life, and it's going to change the world. Wonderful. Great. I don't believe that I don't believe that there is any company that is perfect. Excuse me, my language today. There Every company or organization has a weakness. They have strengths, they have weaknesses. Basically creating a SWOT analysis. Now, Axum, I believe, and Hesu 357. Now, these two people on Twitter, they have two very different views. I tend to, I have my own personal views, which kind of a mix of both of them. But I do believe that the Holo organization, I do believe that they are trying, as I've stated before, I've done, by the way, sorry, side note, I got to cut myself off. I've been following them very, very closely, and I know I know where this is going. I know where it's going. This isn't an if, maybe, or anything else in between, and I'm not even going to say, because I don't really have time to deal. I've already told a couple of people, but I don't really have time to sit here and explain exactly why I come to my belief or my understanding. That literally over 20 hours. I can't tell you guys. I've listened to AMAs multiple times just so I can understand the personalities of each and every individual, including Mary Camacho, including Arthur Brock, including Eric Harris Braun. So that's the wisest thing to do, because they're not going. People are consistent in how they say things and how they communicate, and hopefully I've been consistent with everyone about how I feel about Holochain and the Holo organization. I've stated this before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of energy talking about. I've already talked. I believe it was AMA 49. My response to AMA 49. I've already pretty much broke down a whole lot of things, and it's still extremely consistent today. There's still a huge lack of proper organization, in my opinion. There's still a huge lack of communication. Not communication as far as the development of Holochain, but the communication as far as what exactly is the Holo organization trying to do. Not Holochain, what they're trying to do with Holochain or Holo hosting. We'll talk about that later. But there are some key signs. Excuse me, you guys. I feel very awkward, man. I got it. All right. So, not gonna lie, I like teak wood lotion. Man, I just feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable when I'm actually. That just is what it is. So, getting back on topic. How organizations are run, it is clear to me that they've said that they were trying to hire people. There's a lot of people in this world, and the last time I checked, the Holo organization is a worldwide. They have a worldwide initiative. This isn't just an initiative in Gibraltar. This isn't an initiative in the U.S. It's not an initiative in Turkey or anything else in between, or Indonesia. This is an initiative to change communication and change the way we communicate on the internet. I'm getting a little bit hot as well. Wow, man. So sorry, I just came inside. I had to take the chicks and feed them and stuff like that. So um, I'm saying all this because I want to make it perfectly clear. Again, like I stated before, there's no perfect organization. But some organizations are doing things, whether it's a nonprofit, they are doing things in an extremely efficient way. One of the things that I noticed about Holochain, excuse me, the Holo organization, is that um, I don't know what their mission statement is. I don't know what the bottom line is, right? I do, but again, it's not publicly known what exactly they are trying to do. As I stated before, and I'm going to say this again, I want you guys to listen very closely. I have been in. I'm a modern, probably a modern day, what considered a modern day philosopher. Um, I have done a lot of research on religions. I have been extremely religious in the past. I've been to theology school. I understand the thoughts and trends of certain actions of organizations, especially nonprofit organizations. You guys need to go back in history and find out how religion affected nonprofit organizations, or I should say, how they a lot of them started the nonprofit. We're not going into a history lesson here. The fact of the matter is that I'm letting you guys know that I know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to this stuff. And there's a lot of confusion on exactly where the Holo organization is trying to go. This is teetering because I should say this is teetering within the Holo community, because what happens is that um, and I'm gonna say this is for a general statement. This is not for a specific religion. But what generally happens is, and this is the reason why I'm bringing up religion, by the way. Might as well go ahead and say this. Um, and I stated this on Twitter. If you have a hope about something, but you have no clarification of exactly what's going to happen or what it is, that is a belief system that is similar to religion, right? Which means that you have a technology that's coming out, or you have things that you can do with the technology. You have a world that you're trying to change, and to say that, well, I just want people to do things and I have no initiative, or I have no, that is a complete lie. I don't know if somebody tells you that the Holo organization have no goals or no plans of after this is out and this is just free to the world and we can all just be free and happy. I do believe that they want people to be free and happy, but I don't believe that they are doing this out of the kindness of their heart. But this is a they are also taking advantage of their technology, as anybody should. I'm not blaming them. First off, I'm not blaming them, but I'm just explaining to you guys that there's more behind the scenes, and I know there's more behind the scenes without a shadow of a doubt. So what happens is we get these fanboys. We get these fanboys. They claim that they have these ideas of where the Holo organization is going to go, how Holochain is going to work, how Holo Fuel is going to work, how Holo hosting is going to work, and they have it all planned out, and everything's going to work out perfectly. Holo Fuel is going to be the thing. I'm not this. By the way, this is not a conversation about Holo Fuel and hot, because I already made that video. A Holo Fuel is going to be the thing about the future, and everybody's going to be using Holo Fuel instead of using Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, instead of the trash fiat currency. Pretty much everything is better than fiat currency, and so that's where everything is going to go, and it's the future of the world. And the Holo organization cannot make any mistakes. These fanboys will not say anything bad, or not bad, but they won't critique the Holo organization. And maybe they're because they're part of the community. Now I'm gonna give you guys for you fanboys out there. I'm gonna give you guys an educational statement. Um, you cannot. Well, you can. but you should not support anything if you don't fully understand A, what they're trying to do, and B, what how is it going to affect you in a community. Now, I believe that the Holochain, I do believe that the technology of Holochain is going to change the world. Get that out of the way. I've stated that before. What I don't believe is that the Holo organization is perfect. There's something called constructive criticism. And you guys have to understand that there's also something called destructive criticism. Now, you have to have the wisdom and knowledge to discern what is destructive criticism and constructive criticism. But when you're wearing the purple shades and you've drank fully the Kool-Aid, you need to understand, you have to have the emotional intelligence to understand what exactly is happening to you and why you are the way you are when it comes to this organization. And what usually happens, and I was going to say this before and I cut myself off, what usually happens with things like this is that, especially in religion, right? We get a bunch of people, great ideas, and I'm just saying blanket statement. I'm not saying one religion is better than the other. Everyone comes to an agreement. People get together. They worship their God. It's a religious movement, right? And then there's a couple of people who are like, but wait, this don't make any sense. But and then they start asking questions. Now, it doesn't mean that they hate the organization or the religion. It means that they have genuine questions because they are asking, hey, I believe in all of this and everything. This is great, but I do have a couple of questions. And what happens is that when people start asking questions, the community or the people who are together are like, oh, you're a heathen, or you why are you asking these questions? Were you learning something from somewhere else? And so that person is then banished because they don't agree exactly, or they're asking questions and they're just trying to get better answers. And then what happens is that or these people continually not get any answers whatsoever, or proper answers, or anything, any kind of transparency, they're like, you know what? I've kind of had enough. And I'm only using this, I'm going to use this in a Western world because I do believe that there is a whole lot out there. I'm not going to get into the specifics. But I'm going to talk in a Western world. I'm going to talk about Christianity in general. Because I do think this all correlates. And by the way, this is something you guys need to understand. This is something that you need to hear. Because everything correlates. I've been saying this before, and I'm going to say it again. Everything that happens in this world correlates with each other. And you have to understand. I'm gonna talk a little bit deeper on that later on, because I do have some stuff on the side that I'm doing. But I want you guys to understand this. When these people are ostracized or kicked out or whatever, they tend to go against the grain. They now hate them. I've seen this when I was a part of the Christian realm. As you guys know, I'm gonna tell you now, I used to be a fundamental independent Baptist. If you guys don't know what fundamental is, I mean fundamental, as in they read the 1611 King James. We read the 1611 King James version, and that was that. Like, that was the word of God, and then we applied the rules of what we read, and we took the 1611 King James Bible very literally, not figuratively. Now, I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, but I'm just explaining to you guys what has happened over the years. See, back in the day, the the preaching used to be hellfire and brimstone and everything else in between. And there was a lot of destructive criticism there. Because if you don't believe in X, Y, and Z, then either you're going to go to hell, or you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or you're not real, or you're not a real Christian, different things like that. And so what happens is that as people start asking more and more questions, they're like, well, you know what? I don't. I'm kind of repeating this, but I don't want any. I don't want any part of this because of what's happening. So there was a change in the messaging of how the preachers decided to do things, which just created more confusion. But I'm not getting into religion specifically. I'm just talking about how this all happens. It happens within organizations and companies as well. But there's a reason why I'm using this analogy specifically with the Holo organization. And so what happens is that that person, the preacher or the pastor said, hey, you know what? Now, I don't know if you guys, are religious or anything else in between, but when you listen to messages and you listen to preaching, it's all about wonderful and God and Jesus and everything else in between. No hell and condemnation. Now, that's still in the Bible. Like, it talks about that very, very deeply. Now, unless you change the Bible, there won't be any reason to not talk to not talk about it anymore. So you have to talk about those things, but they're not talking about it. Why? Because they know that destructive criticism just doesn't work. You had sex before marriage. You are a sinner. You did X, Y, and Z. You're a liar. Everything else in between. And by the way, lying is a huge thing, especially in the 1611 King James Bible, because it talks about how all liars go to hell. We won't get into the specific details on that, but I'm just letting you guys know that I do have a deep background when it comes to this stuff. So what happens is that people start asking questions. Like, people started asking a lot of questions about hell and all this other good stuff. And there was no proper answers. For some people, there was just no proper answers. So what happened was they were like, you know what? I need to do a little bit more research on this. And some people got out. Some people were like, yeah, I can deal with it. And some people were like, well, it's acceptable. But the issue is the transparency. And a lot of churches weren't very transparent. And some things just didn't make any sense. Now, let's turn this over and go into the Holo organization. As I've always stated, I've mentioned the fanboys. Now, I'm going to mention some people. And this is what happens when you get a bunch of people together and there's no real leadership. This is what I mean about leadership, people. You get a bunch of people together, and some people are like, man, this is great. This is awesome. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to do this. Clapping, biggest fan. Let's go. Let's do this. And all of a sudden, they're like, wait, you said what now? Hold on. But, okay, that's cool. How is that going to work? And then when you have new technology, now, I know a lot of times what happens in religion is that a lot of people, I used to be a pastor, not pastor, preacher, excuse me. There's a difference. We won't talk about it. Some people just don't listen. So the information, and this is all about communication, right? There's a lot of noise that's happening between me and that other individual. Now, there's been a lot of AMAs. And in these AMAs, there's been a lot of information. This is why I always tell you guys to do your own research. Look at the AMAs. They've talked about certain things, but you have people out here using Twitter. And even Arthur brought, I believe a couple of weeks ago, as I put in my last video, had to come in and clarify some things. And I think that's a good thing. But what I think is a bad thing is that when we think that we have a community and we can't properly teach them because people aren't listening and they hear what they want to hear. I've seen a lot of times to where Arthur Brock would say something, I would take it one way, somebody else would take it a whole different way. Don't that sound familiar? The same thing with a lot of religion. They'll take the Bible or whatever they're reading. And by the way, I'm agnostic. I don't want to talk about it, but so I'm not against or for any religion or anything else in between. I'm just stating what happens. Some people. So what happens is that when there's confusion. I lost my train of thought because I was talking about that. Wow, my brain is going on overdrive right now. There's some reasons why, but anyway, I apologize. But anyway, I was flipping it around. So yes, so we have people who are not necessarily, and I was explaining, they listen to whatever they want to listen to. Some people, they just hear whatever they want to hear, and everything that they hear, they're leaning towards a certain bias. You guys have to understand. You got to stop listening to biased statements and biased opinions and really start having critical thinking skills and emotional intelligence so you can step back and really analyze things in a very proper way. Talking about what I've noticed is there's a lot of Holochain fanboys out there that are talking about the future, and there's no concrete evidence of exactly how this is going to work out. So it's just their belief system. I'm not spending any time or energy talking about what possibly could be. I'm talking about what is the intent behind it. So when Arthur Brock comes in and he says, okay, to clarify, this is what I believe is going to happen. This is what I think is going to happen with Holo Fuel and Hot and all of these different things. Anybody can talk. You guys notice? Anybody can talk about, well, everything has been pushed back now because the market has been going down, right? So now, the market's going down. Well, in 2030, Bitcoin's going to be $9 million. Well, you were wrong about the last 2 years. And so now you want to talk about 2030, and we ain't even reached 2023 yet. And that's the same thing that a lot of people are getting trapped with, is you're talking about 2050, 2060, 2040, and we haven't even got to 2023 yet. That's a problem. You have to take things one step at a time, take it for what it is, and move forward. I've already told you guys, I don't waste a whole lot of energy talking about, is Holochain going to make it? Or is the Hot organization or Holo organization going to make it? They're going to make it. The Holo organization is going to make it. Holochain is going to make it. Holo hosting is going to be amazing. It's going to change a whole lot of things. There's going to be a whole lot of new technology that's coming out that's moving forward. People, I like to move forward. I don't like to move backwards. Okay? And as humans, we need to understand that if we're having these thoughts about companies and organizations and how they operate, they're about way into the future. You really gotta pay attention to now. I do believe that's my own personal belief they're going to make it. So I'm not going to spend any energy trying to tell people, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. And I did before. Remember, I said, hey, this is what's going to happen with Holo Fuel, everything else between. And I'm still online for that. I still, hey, look at my video on Holo Fuel and how I think they're going to interact. I still believe that. There are other people who don't. Fine, wonderful. We'll just see what happens. Now, how should I say this? There are some people who are, particularly Paul Diaz. He's trying to explain things to people about certain things. And Twitter, honestly, is not a great way to explain a technology like Holochain. What's going to happen? I try to tell people to leave that man alone. I've said it in my past video. He is trying to explain in a proper way of exactly how things are going to work so people can communicate with him, maybe ask some questions, because he's, communes with the Holo organization. So, but there's a lot of people, oh, well, you trash, and they take every little thing that he says, and then they turn it around and all this other good stuff. And those people are the naysayers, right? There are people, they want to find every excuse in the book why these people are bad or evil or they're a scam. They want to find out everything. They want to find out. I should say they want to use every excuse to talk bad about the organization or a particular person within the organization, and this is a very bad. Honestly, it's really disgusting, and that those kind of people really need to look at themselves and say, hey, even if you're invested, and by the way, let me finish this thought. Those people really need to really check themselves and really take a hard look at why they are involved in the project or believe in the project. And some people flip-flop compared to how the market works when it comes to the hot token. Now, for some of you fanboys out there who are like, well, I don't know why you're paying attention to hot. It's just the IOU, all this other good stuff. All of these things are happening because there has been a lack of communication and transparency. And half of that is because the people that have communicated properly in previous AMAs, Mayor Camacho and their AMAs, they have said some things that did clarify things for me. Apparently, I don't know what other people are listening to. I don't know. I don't I don't know when they watch the AMAs if they're doing the same thing that other people are doing with my videos. They're like listening to the AMA, but then they're playing a video game or they're doing something else. By the way, I do that. I listen to AMAs. That's why I listen to them like 2-3 times. So because I'm always doing something else, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. But these people, it's like they just said this, but you still believe in something else. How does that happen? It's because you're not listening. Also, it happened. Now, I'm not a perfect individual. If I am wrong about something, I am wrong. One thing I will tell you guys that I'm wrong about, that I have been wrong about, Arthur Brock corrected, clarified, I should say, because he didn't respond to me, but he clarified. He said, hey, look, Holo Fuel is going to be on exchanges, and we have exchanges that have stated that they're going to have Holo Fuel on there. This is confusing to me, but that does not mean that it's not going to happen. I've always stated that I don't believe Holo Fuel is going to be on exchanges. It is. So therefore, I'm even more confused. But it is what it is, right? I was wrong about that. So now we're going to have Hot and Holo Fuel on exchanges. And I don't know exactly how that dynamic is going to work. There are some people who still believe that Hot is only an IOU, and then once Hot is done with, they're just going to cancel Hot. Nobody's ever going to use Hot ever again. This has been debunked by Arthur Brock himself, but people just want to believe in what they want to believe in. I can't, look, for people like that, I can't help you. There are some people, when I was a preacher, I used to say things and I'd be like, look, you leave here, you guys come here on Sundays and Wednesdays, and some of you guys on their monthly potluck dinner and stuff like that. I cannot help you if you just leave here and you immediately go out, get drunk, and cause problems in excuse me, guys, sorry, in society. Sorry about that. All right. I just fed the chicks and hens, and I filled up their stuff, by the way. Okay, thanks. Yep. I lost track. Oh, so there are some people you just can't help. Then you have the Ned Flanders, right? You have the Ned Flanders in the world. It's like, yo, bro, chill out. Okay? tone it down a bit. And some of those people just they need to tone it down a bit. And with the Holo organization, there are some people you just can't help. They have drank the Kool-Aid all the way down. It is through their veins. They bleed. What is it? Blue and teal, or whatever the colors the Holo organization is going to have. They bleed that, and it is what it is, and they can do no wrong. It's similar to sports fans. They do the same thing. I need you guys to really understand that in order for people to pay attention to what you have to say, i.e. on Twitter, on Facebook, YouTube, right here on YouTube, you need to be as unbiased as you possibly can. Or, unless you are just strictly here for entertainment value, I cannot do it. I cannot be like, ha ha, everybody listen up. Hey, I told y'all, hot is up 20%, and what? Nah, Bitcoin is up 20%, but I don't even tell people that. I'm just talking about Holochain right now. I'm talking about the hot token right now. Hot is up 20%, and it is amazing. We are getting ready to go to the moon, people. I'm telling you, it's just going to happen. I'm not like that. I can't do it. I'm not here to blow smoke up anybody's rear end. I can't do it. I am way too real for that. I am way too real for politics. I can't be involved in politics. And trust me, I tried. And in politics here in America, they just don't make any sense to me. Each side, whatever side you're on, and even the people who have not decided on what side that they're on, or claim that they think that their own way and stuff like that, a lot of times I look at what people believe and what people do and their actions that they're taking. I'm like, this just don't make any sense to me. Now, I know I'm not the smartest person in the world, and I know I'm not the only person in the world, but there's a lot that's going on there. And so it's hard for me to blow smoke up anybody's rear end. I just try to keep it real, right? And there's a lot of people out there, and they're like, oh, well, I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it 100%. No, you're not. You're trying to be another reality show or some stuff. Like, you're not even telling the truth. You haven't even done proper research. One of the people that I don't like, by the way, just because I don't like somebody don't mean I'm not going to take all the information that people give out for free on YouTube. I listen to all information, and then I break it down, and then I'll be like, okay, this makes sense, and then I put two and two together and different things like that, and different opinions and stuff like that. But the George guy, or whatever his name is, I've said this before. He made a statement about Holochain, and he was like, yeah, well, they're changing things up right now. They're changing things? They've already changed up. Like, he sent me some what was it? What do they call those things? Articles, excuse me. An article from like a year and a half ago. Like, really, dude? You are not caught up? And the reality of it is I understand. If you're constantly giving people advice or talking about 100 crypto projects, at least have the top 100 projects kind of sort of in your memory bank to kind of know. But that's his thing. I'm just saying, for me personally, if I was to do that, I would concentrate only on the top 100. I wouldn't be looking at all of these other ones. Unless it's something huge or big. And by the way, everything is big to everybody these days. So, but the point is that when somebody asks you something, hey, what do you believe? What do you think about this? What do you believe? Well, they don't now and down, and they don't do it. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Just say you don't know. Just say you need to do more research. And I think some of them, a lot of these YouTubers are now leaning towards that of just saying, you know what? Look, this is great, but talking about prices, some of them don't even mention prices anymore. Why? Or what they think about. It's possible. All these projects, it's very possible. So I I try to not. I try to be as real as I possibly can. If I don't know something, I'm gonna ask you guys, right? And that's why I ask you guys about the meme coins. I don't know about these meme coins. You know what I'm saying? So, but I concentrate on Holochain because I believe that Holochain is going to take over 90% of of the market as far as technology wise, like take over as far as um, the usability of it. It has to have any kind of technology has to have a real function behind it, and I believe that Holochain does. Now let's get back to the Holo organization. By the way, this video is a little bit long, and I know this, and I'm doing this on purpose. So, I'm not going to be making a whole lot of videos about this, and I've stated this before. So, but I'm only doing this because I'm extremely concerned about new people that are coming in and trying to figure out what Holo is, and they go to the Holo community. Charles Hoskinson, I believe, he said that he went to now why Charles Hoskinson can't go directly to Arthur Brock or whatever to learn about. I don't know, but I guess he was on the Reddit page, Holo Organization's Reddit page, and whatever, and people were talking mad stuff about him, and he's trash and all this kind of stuff. Really, people, really, and see, this is what I mean by these people. Those sorts of people believe that they have a holier than thou attitude, and they don't really understand how to properly communicate or educate someone about something that they truly believe in. So, a lot of religious people, and I'm saying this for a reason, a lot of religious people do this very same thing. There are some people that get in your face and be like, brother, you must believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and thou shalt be saved. By the way, I just watched Sonic 2. Jim Carrey was look. I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm a huge but when Jim Carrey said not in that movie, but when he was like, "Thou shalt be saved," this is hilarious. But anyway, the point is that you have certain ways to go about doing things, or you can say, "Hey, you know what? Let me introduce you to this." Have you? What are your thoughts on this? That's a whole lot better. And so when people come to you to truly ask you, "Hey, what is really going on here?" you can give them a sensible answer. A lot of this is tied to a lot of people, and the fanboys are created because they have all of this emotion. They have all of this positive emotion about a specific company or organization, and they refuse they don't know how to channel it properly. Similar to angry people, right? When they're extremely angry, and some people, they lose it, right? They do things that they don't want to, they don't mean to do, and they say things they don't mean to say, and it's not properly managed. It's okay to be angry, but you have to properly manage your anger to do the right things when things happen. It's the same thing when people see something amazing, Holochain, the technology and what it can do, and it's like, oh my goodness, they got stars in their eyes. Some people have dollar signs in their eyes, right? Some people have whatever belief that they have about a company or organization. Now, my opinions. I need to get into my opinions because I want to make something very, very clear. There's a lot of language, right? I'm not one of those people who sit here argue about language. There are people in this world today, they are arguing about language. I want this language to be changed. I want that language to be changed. I want me to be called this. I want you to be called this. I want all this kind of stuff. I want this and I want that. But there's no really clear understanding of the fundamentals of the root cause of the issue. And so with the hot token, I can say what I believe all I want, but I do know this is that if you're going to pay somebody in hot or Holo Fuel, you're able to invest, right? Uh, you are able to be either part of the organization or company or to invest, and those are two different things because one you can earn and one you could support, right? If you've bought a if you bought a hollow port like I have, you can possibly support the organization, and you're helping build this new framework, a new framework for a new internet, and that's very very exciting, right? And so you have to keep your emotions level so you can understand better understand the technology. I still have to understand technology. I was able to log on. I did everything pretty much right. Is it Donald Lee 50? I believe at Donald Lee 50. I believe he made a great video explaining. I got stuck, I believe, on the sixth or the last one where I put my USB in and I was waiting for it to update, and then all I had to do to receive that email, and all I had to do was press the button, and that's what it's all about. I like when people make videos like that so we can all communicate with each other and say, hey, this works, this does not work. So, however you want to call it, people are invested. You can be invested into a company or organization, not just financially, but you can be emotionally invested. You can be educationally invested. You can support the company or organization by volunteering to do certain things. There's a whole lot of things you can do. However you feel, whatever you feel like you are doing, you are receiving something in return, financially or emotionally or any other way. So when you put something in, you are expecting to get something out, and that is true 100% of the time, even nicest of people. Some people are super kind and sweet, and because they are doing it for the other person, but they also do it for themselves because they feel good in doing it. There's nothing wrong with that. So people, you have to understand, you just have to you have to be you have to understand exactly, be more, and I say this a lot, but you need to be more emotionally intelligent and have great critical thinking skills. Hot Holo Fuel is going to be an interesting dynamic. I've already made my statements on how I think this is going to happen. The Holo organization, I've told you guys already, the Holochain technology is going to take off. The Holo organization is, for lack of a better word, they are struggling, not from a technological point of view, but they're struggling from a communicative point of view, from a transparency. There's not a lot of transparency. There's just too many questions out there. So when people ask me about, is hot a good something good to invest in? I'm not a financial advisor, and you guys know I'm the quick to say that. I'm just investing, and yes, I'm investing some way, somehow, no matter how other people look at it, in the company or organization, because I'm expecting to get either something financially in return, or I'm expecting to get something to where it's going to help out the entire world. So either way, I'm investing some way, somehow into the organization. People, that's what investing is. So when the same people that talk about, oh, well, we're not really here, hot, for people who are looking at the price, you need to just ignore the price. Those same people, with hot takes off 100%, they're excited. They got stars in their eyes. They got money signs. They're like, you know what, I'm going to take a little bit off of the top, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to keep it because I believe in the project and everything else between. That's all great. That's all wonderful. But people, please, let's not be hypocritical. Let's just not. Okay? The best thing to do is to support however someone is invested into a company or organization. As I stated before, this organization needs true leadership. They need leadership to tell people exactly where they believe that this is going to go without having to go into the companies or organizations or the exchanges that they're partnered up with or anything else in between. They need to be able to explain to people, normal people, not people like me that's been involved with Holochain or believe in the hot token or the Holo organization for years now. But for people who are just coming in and they have the mindset that, hey, you know what is this technology? It sounds great, but what is it? And if it's confusing to them, I mean, it's a little bit confusing to me, and I damn sure know it's going to be confusing to them. And so they have this blockchain mentality, right? Or they have a Bitcoin mentality to where they believe things are going to go. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, I really try to keep it real on this channel. That's why I call myself the Crypto Truth. But I also say that I give you the truth as I see it, because I do understand that A, I'm not perfect, and B, I try to be as clear and as transparent as I possibly can with any and everybody out there. I do believe that there are excellent ideas from everybody in the Holo community, in the Holo organization. And the reason why I'm not personally invested, or I'm not taking the time to be a part of the Holo community, is because until I see proper leadership, I don't want to be showing my face there and talking about certain things a certain way, and then people are like, oh, well, you're creating FUD, and you know, I really don't have time for that. So anyway, I'm not a drama person. I don't have a lot of drama in my life. You can ask my girlfriend. I have an ex-wife. There's no drama there at all whatsoever. I don't do drama. I don't. There's no drama with my kids. I don't allow them to create any drama. There's just not nothing there. I use my time and my energy to have fun in life, and to communicate with others, and so we can try to solve real problems, right? In this world today, the world is already as difficult as it is. It's already divided. We're already struggling economically, and the last thing that the Holo organization needs really is a community that can't come together, talk about things in a very responsible way, and without getting emotionally involved with their biased opinion, right? So that's the whole issue there. Anyway, again, this is a long video. I know it's a long video, but these are things that I had wanted to say for a long time now, and I hope you guys glean some information. Please let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about what I believe or how you think things are going to go. We can all speculate a whole lot of things, but guess what, you guys? Let's try to help educate ourselves together and how we can move forward within the crypto space, within the crypto community. And last but not least, for those in the Holo organization, you guys need to get together and have, get to the Ned Flanders and be like, hey, you know what, tone it down just a little bit, or maybe see things from a different point of view. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Please, please, please do your own research, do your own research. And last but not least, you guys, above all else, stay safe out there. Bye, you guys.